You're such an asshole.
So this is one of those requests that, because he's the individual in this individual situation, he doesn't realize that his error is a more fundamental, larger one, which affects everyone. I'm going to say everyone, but probably not everyone, but nearly everyone I've had in. When you come to me about advice, generally about your career or your finances, and you present to me the false choice, do I do A or B? And guys, the answer is always both. Stop being lazy motherfuckers. And like, well, do I only have 40 hours a week to do this because I'm a Gen Z pussy and I'm an American who doesn't know. Guys, you want to do 40 hours a week, you're going to have 40-hour a week results. There's nothing wrong with doing, and this is not even a criticism of the client. This is an overall criticism of everyone. You keep looking for the easy fucking way. I want to make lots of money. How do I make lots of money without working more than 30 hours? You don't. You don't. But I saw on television, yeah, that one guy got really lucky. Honey Boo went down to the grocery store, gas station, picked up herself some cigarettes, paid by check because she's a dumbass. Blah, blah, blah. She bought a lottery ticket. She won. Guys, don't come up to me. Do I do this or do I do that? You have to do both. Do I work a lot and make a lot of money or do I go to the gym? You do both. Do I ask girls out a lot or do I groom myself? You do both. I'm kind of curious. For maybe it's just, man, Atham. I hate being so philosophically closely related to that guy. It's like, oh God, not him. He and I, ever since we were adults, which is decades for both of us, because we're old fucks now. It's been 80 hours every week. Maybe not always at work, but 80 hours of some form of work, whether that's going to school, whether that's working, whether that's working on work, whether that's getting certifications, whether that's setting up entrepreneurship, whether it's looking for a job. And also, I would throw this in there, whether it's working on your home, maintaining it, cleaning it, saving for retirement, getting all the stuff that comes in life management, which is considered work, but goes beyond just your employer. Where do you all get off on this 40 hours? Do I do this? Or I'm trying to figure out, what do you do with all that free time? You need 40 hours. Well, the 5 days you're working, 40 hours a week working, 40 hours a week, a work week, 5 days sleeping. What are you doing with the other 8 hours? It's both. It's always both. Because if you don't do both, you're not going to succeed. Or I shouldn't say that. You might be a minimalist, and he is, the client individually is talking about minimalism, which is fine. But you're all limiting. Do I date the blonde or the brunette? Both. Do I work the nighttime job as a bartender or do I work the daytime job to get out of that? Both. So I'm going to go through his request. And there's other individual things here we'll go through. Hi, Cap. It feels as though my career has come to an end, even though I have skills other people might not have. All right, so you graduated in 2019 or 2018, according to your resume. Your resume, by the way, at least my opinion, looks just fine. I like it very much. But I am not an HR ditz, all right? And there is no right or wrong answers with resumes. No one has any answer there, but I think it looked fine. I like the information, the details you provided. It looks very well. So I don't think that's it. And I don't know what you could do to improve it. So I'd not worry there. But look, here already, you're wrong. 2018 or 2019, you graduated. Oh, my career's at end. No, it's not. You just got laid off, dude. Everyone gets laid off. Everyone gets fired. It rarely is your fault. Rarely. I feel as though my career has come to an end, even though I have other skills people might not have. I just left a $120,000 job due to losing your clearance, which I'm not going to go into the details of. And you did nothing wrong in turn for you to get that. Now, here's where you might have lost. I'm being serious about this, man, because I can't help you on this. This is where I think you might have lost your security clearance. You say, and I quote, then was pressured by my geriatric family doctor to commit murder with no criminal history, even though I did not submit. Dude, that sounds like you got schizophrenia, honest to God. I don't know any doctor that would say you got to go murder people. All right. So now you got to ask yourself the question, did the doctor really say that? Or in my mind, do I have schizophrenia or some other mental disorder that it makes me 100% convinced that happened? Because that's what schizophrenia is. Again, I don't know if it's schizophrenia or not. That's fucked up. And if you're saying that to me in an email, your main issue may not be your resume or your work history. Right? It may be that you're mentally ill, like legit. So I would go talk to a therapist. I don't know who. I don't know this realm, but not me. And show them this. Say, am I losing my mind? Because if you're going to say that, what did you say? Even if you don't even remember it, what happened? That kind of behavior will immediately get you fired. So aside from that, now we continue on. What do you think about restarting my career at entry level IT and attempting some certifications despite having a hard time memorizing things? Well, I have to have a question for you. How did you get your college degree and all the other certifications you have on your resume if you had a hard time memorizing things? You did it, right? Dude, I don't give a shit things are hard. I don't care. It's hard to lose weight. Fine, be a fat pig that no one wants to fuck. It's hard majoring in engineering. Fine, be a poor liberal arts major. Oh, it was hard memorizing things. Well, you did it at, like, God almighty. Fucking knock it off with the excuses. You even proved it doesn't matter that it's hard memory. Right? Yes, life is hard. It is. You know what's harder? Trying to avoid the hardness. Then it's really hard. So I don't want to hear that excuse. Yeah, it's hard memorizing things, sure. I could send you a photo of my appearance and my resume if that would help. The resume is fine. You have a lot of money in the bank. That's good. So you've got good financial discipline. That's great. Looking to go towards minimalism by lowering my expectations to $95,000 a year at the maximum to make ends meet under the Biden regime and investments such as stocks and annuities. So let's look at your finances. You got a great setup right now. You're not that old. That's great. You got 100,000 saved up. And I like how you think I'm lowering my expectations to 95,000 a year, which I think is reasonable. I mean, yeah, if you're paid 120,000, and I can't claim to know everything that you listed, like what that is on your resume, but I was like, well, this guy knows a lot. This isn't, you have experience, you have expertise. So I think you should be able to get that. You may have to move out of the state you're in now. So I think that's, yeah. And I always agree with minimalism because I don't know why you'd want to be a materialist. That should be your default setting philosophically. But financially, obviously, it will help. And yeah, then you could get by on 95,000 a year. Sure, absolutely. I'm going to assume a fair amount of your skill set could be remotely employed. So you could be remotely employed on top of that. You just have to go and do a job search now. Both. Both. But when it comes to your specific request about should I start over in entry level IT, well, here's our both strategy. Why you're saying should I give up on this somewhat impressive resume and skill set I've developed over the years to go back to entry level? No, why? You already invested in all that. You have some impressive skills. Why don't you start applying for jobs in those fields? And not or, and both. And if you think your resume is a little weak in some areas, or you think there's some opportunity to be had to getting an added certification, then yes, go get that certification on top of applying for jobs. And then whether you find a job, it could be entry level just because you need some money. That's fine. There'd be three things you'd actually be doing now that we could upgrade to all. We are no longer either or. We're both. Now we're doing all. So you would apply for jobs that would already compensate you for your current skill set, which I got. I'm not familiar with the IT industry right now, but I'd imagine there's something out there that you would not be paid start entry level. I would then evaluate while you're applying for those jobs, higher paying jobs, and you want to get added certifications and certain things that help you with your resume, yes, you're going to do that too. And then also, third, if you can't find a job and you don't want to tap into your savings, and the only jobs you can find are entry level IT, yes, do that. Go start entry level IT again, just to have something coming in, get a little bit of money, maybe some health insurance. And then you know what you keep doing? You keep doing all three. Okay, now you got your entry level IT job, 40 hours a week. And then you spend some time working on your certifications. If you choose something you're like, yeah, I could do this. And you keep sending out the resumes. That's the difference between, and you must have done something excellent. Otherwise, you wouldn't have $100,000 saved up. You wouldn't have gotten a $120,000 a year job. You've got to have some skills, man. You do. It's just the effort now. You get to do it all. I don't like, am I going to wake up? Like my day does not consider one, there's not one thing. Do I wake up and just do videos? No, there's hiking, there's the gym, there's videos. Now there's pickleball. There's maintaining the grounds, although that's all done. There's running errands. It's all. And I don't really go to bed. I don't stop working until like about 8 o'clock, 9, especially in South Dakota. God, I'd wake up at 6 and wouldn't finish till midnight for an entire summer. And you keep going until the work is done. I got to write a book because, man, even the people in my life don't fucking get it. And these are smart people. Why are you chill out and relax, Clary? Why don't you shut the fuck up and keep being poor and fucking miserable while you're at it? You do. Am I? Tell me in the comments. 1, if you get this concept. 0, if you don't. I do all the fucking work up front, so I have the rest of my life off. Does that make sense? No, everyone likes to spread out and amortize their workout way off into the future, thereby fucking up their future. No one gets it with me. I'm like, well, while you're all sitting on your asses watching television, reading books, and doing dumb jerk off shit, I'm going to bust my ass off now, double, maybe even triple time it if I'm smart, like a double, triple dip, so that when I'm, if I had different upbringing, I could have done this by 35. So that by the time I'm 35, 40, 45, in my case, it's probably going to be 50. I don't have to do anything for the rest of my life. Why does no one get that? And why can't other people get that? That's how you advance. The normies do 40 hours a week. Oh, do I do this or do I do that? You need to multi-prong approach. But yeah, man, I gotta. And how long have you been laid off? It couldn't have been that long ago. And there's somewhat of a tech recession. So don't worry. Like you graduate, sounds like you worked right away. It's great being in the younger generations where no one shows up for work. But yeah, people will hire you quickly. In the 90s, after sucking a lot of boomer dick and licking the hoo-ha of Karen in HR, we might get a second interview. It would take months to find a job. So your career isn't over. You don't have to restart. It's just you got laid off, dude. And if your doctor told you to go murder someone, yeah, I don't think your doctor told you to go murder someone. I'm not calling you a liar. I know you actually believe that. Like, no, your doctor really didn't tell you to murder someone. Please go check that out because we could talk all day about applying for high-end jobs, starting in low-end jobs, going for certifications. If you ain't mentally square and healthy, it ain't going to matter. You got to get that squared away first. Let's go to the super chats if we have any, which we don't. Let me look at the 0 and the 1s. Oh my God, look at this guy. Gee whiz, we'll let anyone in. All right, there you go. See you guys later. Toodles.